Good afternoon, everyone. So happy to be here for another monthly Care Connection. And today I have with us the wonderful Sheryl Oleksak with us. So excited to have her here with all of you and to join in today's webinar on mindfulness. So I'm going to just introduce Sheryl and then we'll go ahead and get started. But just a few housekeeping rules. Everyone is muted at this time, but if you have thoughts or questions or anything like that come up as Sheryl's presenting, then you can type them in and I'll be able to assist with moderating. So Sheryl here, after recognizing unhealthy relationships with eating and exercise in her early 20s, she decided to take control of her mind and her body. She took a step back and changed her diet and mindset and turned to yoga. Through her yoga practice, Sheryl was able to challenge her mind while relaxing it at the same time, and she started to discover new feelings of strength, ease, accomplishment, open-heartedness, harmony, and balance. She holds certifications in 200-hour and 300-hour yoga teaching training, partner yoga from Kripalu Center, and also yoga ed K through 8, Zumba, and Bhuti yoga. She's also a piano instructor, certified Thai therapist. So many skills here, and Reiki master as well, and an online coach for 4-Day Fit. So she shares her passion through, yoga, music in her Zoom classes and on her YouTube channel as well, and a variety of yoga studios that she visits and wellness facilities in New York and beyond. Sheryl has been involved with online chair yoga classes with us here at AFA, Alzheimer's Foundation, since 2020. We're so excited. And she's also the co-owner of Strength and Serenity retreats and classes, where she brings together the best of Pilates and yoga into thoughtfully curated wellness experiences. And so we're very excited to have you with us today. So without further ado, I'll let you get started, Sheryl, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Cara, so much. All right, so hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today with you. And just a few things first. To get started, can you please find a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, whatever you have, something to write on, just a brief moment to write something, no, nothing intense. So I'll give you a moment to get that if you have it on hand. If not, don't stress. We're not here to stress out at all, of course. But when you do find that piece of paper and pen, I want you to write down, what are you holding on to inside? What's something, it could have been a discussion, it could have been a scenario, an event from years ago, it could have been the other day. Whatever you're still holding on to that is overwhelming, that's taking part of you, and just taking up space in you that you can't get rid of. So write that down. It shouldn't be too long. It can be a name, it could be a situation, discussion, the person, the day, whatever it is, whatever pops up in your mind, write it down and put that aside. We don't need that anymore. So it's aside, and I want you to just be right here. So whatever brought you here to this workshop, embrace that feeling and just sit in that right now. And I want you to take your right hand and bring your right hand to your belly, covering your belly and your ribs, and your left hand to your chest. So the important part of our everyday living is our breath. We have our breath always, it never leaves us. So we're going to take ourselves into our 3-part breathing just to control the breath, slow down the breath, and acknowledge your breath. As we are right here doing this together, how many people are attending, we are here at the same time for whatever reason, to be present and to be mindful. And we'll get into mindfulness shortly. So when you take that inhale, you're going to start from the belly. Feel the belly rise, the ribs expand, and the chest expand. Hold it at the top. And on your exhale, release from the chest, the belly, and the ribs. Again, inhale from the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Hold it. Exhale, release from the chest, the ribs, and the belly. A few more times here at your own pace. You're using your own breath. We're all at a different place and a different pace. So close your eyes as you're doing this. Feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. And as you're breathing, just feel the expansion of the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Hold it there. And then you release from your chest, the ribs, and the belly. Just slowing down the breath and acknowledging the breath. Because once again, your breath never leaves you. It's being able to have that control over your breathing. Just a few more rounds, slowing the breath down and just staying present here. And then slowly begin to open the eyes if they're closed. And just bring your hands down to your legs. And just see how you are feeling in this moment. Maybe there is a change, maybe there isn't a change, but acknowledging your breath always. Yes, we don't expect to bring our hand to the belly all the time and the hand to the chest, but you want to feel your breath on the inhale and feel your breath on the exhale. So just keep that breath, breathing in and out of your nose. If you need to breathe out through your mouth, that's fine. Do whatever works for you. As long as you're breathing, you've got this. So now just coming into, see where your body is, if you're holding on to any tension or stress. And just take the next few moments to breathe into that area of the body. Be aware of how you're feeling. Be aware of where you are in this moment. And then give yourself an inhale. Bring the shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, press the shoulders down. Inhale, reach the shoulders up. Exhale, press them down one more time. Inhale, reach the shoulders up. And exhale, press down. Because sometimes we tend to take ourselves through our daily life like this. Then we get the tension in the neck, the shoulders, we have tension in the head, stress, whatever it is. We begin to walk around with our shoulders creeping up towards the ears. So press them down, relax. And if we're seated all day, or if we find ourselves seated throughout the day for work, wherever you are, it's good to find yourself moving around. So from here, let's begin with the shoulders pressing down. Keep them pressing down. Take the right ear to the shoulder. Take the right hand and gently guide that ear down more. Don't force it. We don't want sharp pains. We don't want any pain. We want that stretch. So feel the stretch in the side of your neck. Keep pressing the shoulders down. Gently guide that right ear to the right shoulder. Connect with your breath. Be present right here. And then bring your head right back up through center. Relax that right side down. Take the left ear to the shoulder. Gently guide it down. Don't force it. You'll feel that intense stretch. Feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. Relax your face. Maybe throw a smile in there as well. And then gently guide your head back up to center. Keep those shoulders pressing down. Don't let them creep up. And then bring your chin to your chest. Pressing the shoulders down. Take your fingertips to your scalp and give yourself a nice massage right here. We hold a lot of tension in the scalp area. And as you're doing that, gently guide the chin deeper towards the chest. Feel a stretch in the back of the neck. And on your inhale, lift yourself up. Fix your hair if you need to, of course. And then gently, as you're pressing your shoulders down, let's stretch the front part of our neck. Just take your gaze up. Don't collapse the head back. It might not feel too good. Just lift your chin up and you'll get that stretch in front of your neck. And then take your gaze forward. So now working your arms, inhale, reach those arms out to the sides. I know you can't see mine, but reach those arms out and then bring that right arm in front of you. Keep pressing the shoulders down and just guide that right shoulder in. Feel a stretch, no pain. Remember, never feeling pain. Pain doesn't feel too good. So we want to feel good. So gently guide that right arm in. Feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. We're still connecting with that breath, acknowledging the breath. And then releasing that arm down. Bring that left arm out, bring it across. Gently guide it in, don't force it in. Any shoulder issues, be mindful of that. I throw that word mindful in there. Be aware of how you're feeling. Be present. So feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. And then releasing that arm. We're going to inhale, reach both arms all the way up. Exhale, just take a forward fold in your chair. Your arms come down by your sides. Little stretch in the back. Inhale, reach the arms up. Maybe take a slight arch. Exhale, begin to hinge yourself forward. You'll feel that stretch one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge yourself forward. As you hinge yourself forward, stay there. Maybe your hands come to your thighs. My hands are just onto my thighs and I'm hinging forward. Maybe your fingertips can reach down to the ground. You'll get a deeper stretch. Listen to your body. And on the next inhale, bring yourself back up. Once again, find yourself comfortably in your chair. So then here we go. So what you just did, you were being present, you were being mindful. You were right here in this moment. I mean, yes, you could have stepped away, came back, whatever it was. But if you were doing this practice, we just did simple stretching. We focused on our breath and we were here together. So mindfulness is basically our ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we are doing without reacting to what is around us and having that overwhelm us. As simple as that. And our body, we ourselves naturally have that ability to be mindful. But when we practice this on a daily basis, it just makes it easier for us. So when you bring your awareness to what you're directly experiencing via your senses or to your state of mind via your thoughts and emotions, you are being mindful. Again, as simple as that, but not easy. It's not easy because there's so much going on around us, especially what's going out there. We take in many times of what's going on out there and it becomes overwhelming, whether it is a friend's conversation, family, whatever it is, experiences, we tend to take that in and we do react at times. So it's how you take that in. So, and also when we hear someone say, or when we say, oh, I'm going to multitask to get things done, we really cannot do that. Our mind only focuses on one thing at a time. So when you say you're focusing on this, how well are you doing those tasks? Are you being productive? Are you really getting them done efficiently of how they should be done? So when you're focusing on one thing, focus on it. Get that done. Complete it. Move on to the next thing. Because it might take you less time than what you did than doing everything at once. Yes, guilty of that as well. So just remember that. When you're trying to multitask, stop, do one thing. So in our everyday living, we can be more mindful on our daily basis of what we do. And that can be anywhere from brushing your teeth, talking to a friend, eating. Brushing your teeth, okay, maybe we're thinking or not doing it long enough, but we can be mindful and focus on how many times we brush our teeth. We should be doing it, I think, for 1 minute or 3 minutes. Don't quote me on that. But another thing, when eating, how often do we eat watching TV? How often do we eat out? And we don't pay attention to what we're eating. So we're not being present and enjoying the food. If we were just focusing on the food, then we wouldn't have digestive issues. We would probably eat less and we would pay attention to what we're eating. I went someplace and we had to it was a quiet breakfast. And I mentioned to my friend, I said, how can I be quiet while eating? You know, how we can't do this. But how often, if you're just focusing on eating, there's no need to talk. You're basically focusing on what you're eating, you're enjoying the food, and you're appreciating what you have. Find gratitude for what you have. Also, talking to friends. How often do we talk to friends and we're sometimes texting on the phone and talking to someone else or talking to someone, not looking at them, but looking at something else? So if we were mindful enough to pay attention, to listen, that would also help in communication, and sometimes communication with people, with coworkers, with friends, family. Sometimes that is cut short when we're not being mindful and being present, talking to that person. Then we can go into other things such as other things we do on a daily basis. Who likes going to the gym? So I know I can't see a bunch of hands raising right now. So sometimes if you do work at the gym or you go to a facility or wherever you need to do physical therapy, whatever it is, we sometimes want to be out of there before we get in there. So why not enjoy it as we are there? When we get there, we're there for a reason. We're here to help ourselves. We're here to help our bodies, our minds, whatever the situation is, whatever the ailment is, we're here to better ourselves. So enjoy that. Don't worry about thinking yet of what has to be done later on. It will come. Being present, being here, being mindful is of importance. Another item I find that we're not mindful enough is vacation. How often do we take our work on vacation? Or if we don't take our work on vacation, we're thinking about how much vacation we're losing, how much time from work we're losing of what needs to get done. So instead of being away and enjoying that time, enjoy it. And that vacation doesn't need to be to an island. It could be a day off. It could be an hour or two. It can be your lunch hour. Take that time and not focus on work and be present. Yes, we're all busy. And yes, you can make time for you because that's important. You are important. And you're deserving of that time to take a break. Whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is, it's that time that you put aside for you. Another item that holds us from being mindful is focusing too much on the past. How about something, and remember, everything in the past is done with, we cannot change it. We cannot go back to change A, B, and C to make us move forward. But what we can do is, I know it helps a lot if you're dealing with forgetting, or not forgetting, but dealing with not moving on from a person or a relationship or something someone said to you. Maybe just put aside and say what was a big issue, and it could be a whole another topic, is to forgive and accept. To forgive that person for whatever they did and accept them for who they are. We're all very different, but when you put in your mind of forgiving what was done and accepting, it makes it easier to move on. It doesn't have to be said to them. It's just what you put in your mindset of, how can I move on from this certain situation so I'm not overwhelmed with everything from the past? Because we keep holding on to the past, it does change things of being present, and it does change things of moving forward. And then you might find yourself with an ailment. We hold on to things in our body, wherever it is, and we don't feel good. So just letting go of those items. Now, another thing can be just actions around us. How are you reacting to what is going on in society? Are you taking in everything you hear, everything you read, everything that happens to the person next to you? Or are you just letting it be, not meaning that you don't care, but yet not taking it in? If you take it in, once again, it's like not letting go. So don't take in and absorb that. It's putting aside, of acknowledging it and just letting it be. Because sometimes we cannot change what's going on around us, but yeah, we can change how we react to things that are happening to us. So hopefully at the same time you are breathing, being present. Remember, feeling your inhale, feeling your exhale. It always comes back to your breath. So even if you stepped away, came back, just focus on your breath and just see, maybe some of these things that I've mentioned does hit home for many of you, and just see how your breath changed, reacted to it. And before we move on, I'm going to take you into another breathing exercise of our ocean breath. So our ocean breath is breathing in and out of the nose from the back of the throat, and you'll hear a slight snoring sound. You almost sound like Darth Vader. You do sound like Darth Vader, but you want to sound like the ocean, which calms you. So if you hear the ocean, you want that to be a calming sound, just like your breath. So if I inhale through my nose, exhale through my mouth with an HA sound, my mouth is open, but if I do that, sealing my lips, I'll hear that slight snoring sound. So the inhale and exhale is not really through the nose, but yet through the back of the throat. And if you're thinking, too challenging, I can't do this, it's okay. Inhale and exhale. You've got it. Just focus on the breath. So we inhale and we exhale. You feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. Maybe you inhale for a count of 3. Exhale for a count of 3. And it's an audible breath. Hear yourself breathing. Of course, if you're breathing your ocean breath and someone in the next room down the block hears you, you're breathing too loud. But you do the best that you can. As long as you're breathing, your breath never leaves you. It's controlling your breath always. And sometimes we don't have control of our breath. That's why if we stop, take a moment and count, inhale for a count of 4. Exhale for 4. Inhale for 5. Exhale 5. Inhale 6. Exhale for 6. We can go all the way up to 10, but you do what you can do. If you only get up to 3 or 4, that's fine. Be proud of where you are. It's your breath. So now what we just did, being mindful, that can be done on a daily basis. If you don't have time to meditate, all good. You don't have to. Just paying close attention to where you are, what you're doing, how you're feeling as you're doing whatever you're doing. Again, as simple as brushing your teeth, to eating, to talking, to moving around, to maybe driving and sitting in traffic. That's a good one. I'm sure we come across that whether you're here on Long Island, in the city, elsewhere, another state, wherever you are, there's traffic. So it's being able to sit, drive, focus, and breathe. So meditation, excuse me, meditation is basically, and don't get me wrong, many people think meditation, I can't sit still, I can't do this. A lot of can'ts I hear, but sitting still can be for 5 minutes, sitting still can be challenging. I understand that. I'm right there with you. So meditation is basically exploring, and it's exploring your mind. That's a tough thing to hear, but yet once we close our eyes or we gaze gently down, the mind does many things on its own. We tend to explore the mind, and sometimes our sensations are enhanced. So when our eyes are closed, our sensations enhancing mean you begin to feel the breeze of wherever you are. You could be outside, you could be inside. Maybe feeling the touch of your clothing on your skin. Maybe the smell of what is around you. Also, maybe in meditation, you begin to, what brings up are your likes, your dislikes, what you don't want to do, what you really don't want to do. Lots of things pop up. Maybe you see a flying unicorn run through a field. No, I haven't seen that. But you never know what the mind presents to you. And when that happens, you take it in, you embrace it. You're not harsh on yourself. You want to treat yourself with warmth and kindness, and the same to others. So with that being said, mindfulness and meditation, they both rely on breathing, and it all comes back to your breath. So remember, something in you that changes but never leaves you is your breathing. So very important to know that. And of course we know that, but at times we forget about the breathing. So when I do take you through this meditation, just a few pointers to bring out now. This meditation, since I think we're all basically seated, if you want to, and meditation can be done lying down, just finding a flat surface when you do so. But if we're all seated now, making sure your feet are grounded, you're sitting up nice and tall, your shoulders are over your hips, just make sure you're not lounging back, falling back, you want to bring your hands down onto your thighs, making sure both hands are even, or down by your sides, wherever they need to be. You want to then, you don't have to close your eyes. Closing eyes can be challenging as well. You can always just take your gaze down and just maybe halfway close your eyes. And then when we start our meditation, we always begin to focus on the breath first. So going back to that ocean breath, feeling the inhale and feeling the exhale. Or you can take it into your 3-part breathing, feeling the belly, the ribs, and the chest expand, and then finding that release. We begin to focus in the beginning of a meditation of the breath entering the body and leaving the body. Whatever sensations appear in the body, from your seat to your shoulders, of how the breath moves in and out of your body, to whatever that makes you feel. And then you want to feel pleasant sensations, and whatever comes up, you want to feel the breath. Feeling your inhale, feeling your exhale. And that's all we need to focus on. But of course, when our eyes are closed and we're told to focus on the breath, don't move, don't do this, we start thinking about, could be, when is this over? Or it could be what I need to do as soon as this is over, what I need to do later. Our mind does wander, but we want to then focus on where we are, just taking that sensation. If you hear, focusing on the sounds around you. Maybe you hear a car outside, but don't let your mind wander off on, where's that car going? Is that my car? Is it somebody else's car? Why are they on? Our mind starts to ask questions of what's going on around us, but bring yourself back, and then you'll just be present right here. Once again, you feel your inhale, you feel your exhale, and your body is that center stage in your meditation. Once we feel that and acknowledge how we are feeling, it's brought back to the breath. And the breath, again, is that sensation of breathing in and out of the nose. And you'll feel that breath at the tip of your nose. Feel that sensation as far as the nostrils, your nose. And if you're thinking, I don't understand that, but when you feel and acknowledge every sensation of your body during that time of your breath, it's slowing everything down around you, slowing everything down within you. And that's when we start doing this. We start counting to be present. And sometimes to find yourself in stillness, it's hard. We have distractions everywhere. Maybe you aren't in a place that's quiet. So we usually count from 1 to 10. If we count past 10, or if we say let's count from 1 to 50, we don't even make it to 10. So your mind gets distracted. And in a meditation, if I say counts from 1 to 10 and it's normally done, we inhale, exhale, 1. Inhale, exhale, 2. Inhale, exhale, 3. And sometimes we make it up to 5 and go, where was I? That means you have to start right back at 1 again and work your way up. Maybe that happens 2, 3, 4 times, but the breathing counting is only a certain period of time. That is to get you focused, to get your mind focused on where you need to be. And just being able to be present. You can have a timed meditation. You can have a meditation for, say, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If you're new to meditation, you're not going to make it 20 minutes. Make it 5 minutes. Stop, maybe 5 minutes 3 times a day. But the routine of where you put yourself in your practice has to be the same. You want to find yourself in that seat, maybe every day at 1 o'clock during your lunchtime, or every morning before you start your morning. Maybe you start your morning at 7, at 6, or at 8, whatever time it is. How you start your morning takes you into how you take yourself throughout your day. So how do you start your day? If you wake up at 8, or say 5, at 6, you're like, today is another day. That's a different mindset than saying, I am making today great because I can. And let that be your mantra, your saying for your day. And things change throughout the day, but then bring yourself back to that routine and just focusing on the breath. And you're already there in your mindfulness, in being present in that moment. So now I'm going to take you through a guided meditation. So do what you need to do, move around if you have to. This meditation should be, I want you to follow everything I just said. Hope you remember that. Just kidding. You should be comfortable with what you are doing. The important part is your breathing. And once you have that breath, you're being mindful. So bring yourself back to your 3-part breath, but really relax your hands down onto your thighs. Make sure your feet are grounded. You can just focus on the breath entering the belly, the ribs, the chest, and releasing down. But keep your hands relaxed, or just find your ocean breath. Feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. So bring yourself back to your breath. We're not here to stress out. We're breathing, we're being mindful. Maybe add in a smile, and then relax your face. No stress. And remember, I didn't mention it yet, but when you smile, that's the easiest yoga to do is for your face because you're activating all your muscles in your face. And I'm sure if you smile or even add a chuckle in there, you can make the next person next to you laugh. Be silly, it's okay. But now let's get focused, get right back into being right here. So do what works for you. You can close your eyes, or you can just take your gaze down as you gently just lower the eyelids. Don't have to be all the way. And just be here. Feel your inhale, maybe for a count of 3 or 4. Feel your exhale for a count of 3 or 4. Starting there. And just allow yourself to find these moments for you. Feel yourself seated, the connection of your sit bones into your chair. And whatever thoughts come up and go in the mind at this point, simply observe them as if from a distance. Now notice your breathing. Especially notice the still points between the breath. Breathe in through the nose for a count of 4. And out through the nose for a count of 6. Breathe in through the nose for a count of 4. And out through the nose for a count of 6. Feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. Focus on the breath, entering the body and releasing from the body. Just don't strain to do these breaths, but do the best you can. Just focusing on the stillness between breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. And if thoughts intrude, see them as balloons separate from you. And just let them go. Let each thought float away. Feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. You are present now. You are present now. You are here and now in this moment. So feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. You are not controlled by your thoughts. You acknowledge that they are simply thoughts. They perceive from you, but they do not own you. You control your thoughts. They perceive from you, but they do not own you. You control your thoughts. Feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. And recognize that fact that you control your thoughts and let them go. Recognize that fact that you control your thoughts and let them go. Let each thought enter a balloon. Allow them to float away with the wind. Feel each thought enter the balloon and allow them to float away with the wind. Feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. Take this time now to count from 1 to 10. If you lose track of where you are, start back at 1. Inhale. Exhale. 1. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Now stop the counting, but continue to calm and control the breath. Be conscious of the rhythm of your breathing. Feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. So be conscious of the rhythm of your breathing. Maybe the touch of the clothing against your skin. Feel the surface of where you sit and that connection you have to it. And be aware of any scents that you smell or the colors that you see. Notice any details that appear. And be aware of the temperature around. Acknowledge and feel right where you are in this moment. spend these moments of just simply being right where you are. Again, spend these moments of just simply being right where you are and being aware of all that is within you and around you, right here and now in this very moment. Feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. Feel your entire body as a whole. Release. Feel your entire body as a whole. Let go. And just allow your entire body as a whole to find this place of freedom from tension, stress, judgment. And just being here and now in this deserving place for you. Feel your inhale. Connect to your exhale. Feel your inhale, which is full of strength, and your exhale full of ease. This is what it is to be mindful. So begin to find some movement in your body. Maybe tapping the heels and toes. Your hands are on your thighs. Maybe giving a little squeeze to your knees. And then just slowly open the eyes, or you can keep them closed. And just take a few moments and acknowledge how you feel. Acknowledge where you are. You know, if this was challenging, don't be harsh on yourself. If you had to get up, walk away, and come back, it's okay. No judgment. You do what you can at any time. You do what you can do in any moment. As long as you have that breath, you're right there, first step. And also, if a seated meditation of mindfulness is not for you, and you are like to walk on a daily basis, then take that time to make your walking mindful. Making your walking mindful can be from feeling every step that you take, starting from within of your breath, your inhale, your exhale. Yes, you're moving your body, but it doesn't have to be a race walking. You can start off slowly just going on a simple walk for 5-10 minutes, and you'll still feel and have that ability to find the connection of the earth. You're out there in nature, you're walking, and if it's not outside and you are walking elsewhere, still find that connection there, finding your connection with your breath. Find that connection to, once again, nature, and acknowledging how you're feeling while you're walking. As long as you are being present, use that time and just be mindful during that time. And then maybe one day working yourself to being seated to clear the mind. Our meditation was, I think, for 10-15 minutes. So it can be less. It could be counting from 1 to 10, and maybe you didn't make it up to 10 and you only made it up to 5, or you made it past 10, then you can slow the breath down and work your way just up to 10. And if you got lost and got stuck again and only stuck on 3, take a step back. Again, don't be harsh on yourself. Just find love and kindness for yourself, the warmth, no judgment, and I'm giving that to others as well. So with all of that being said, we are here, we are present, we are mindful, and having that mindful practice in your daily living from anything that you do, all it is, it's not a difficult word, but it could be difficult to practice. But now that you have the key to doing it, the foundation of basically being present and acknowledging how you're feeling and using your breath. As long as you can control your breath, not easy at times, you're on the right start. So you have your 3-part breathing. You can always bring the hand to the belly and the ribs. Your hand will cover that area, your hand to the chest. Feeling your entire inhale, you can hold it at the top, entire exhale. And you have that ocean breath, breathing in and out of the nose and the back of the throat. We start inhaling through the nose, HA through the mouth. Do that with the lips sealed. And you'll get that snoring sound, that Darth Vader sound. Start thinking about that breathing. You have it, but take it back to the ocean breath. And with that being said, again, enjoy your day. If I know we have some time, if anybody has any questions, please reach out to Kara. And I'm here. Still be around? Yes. Hi.
It always takes a second when you click on it to load. So I was like, oh. So yes, we have Sheryl here to answer any questions or thoughts you guys might have. I just want to start out with how peaceful and soothing this was, and I think just sharing that appreciation for if, using whatever capacity you have to practice. And I think that's just so vital because it's something we can all do. And it's like you said, if we take one moment at the beginning of the day, and start small, because then I think we avoid trying to set ourselves up for failure, right? And it's starting off with what we're capable of doing. So I do have someone who asked if there's a recording of this event. So yes, this is being recorded. This will be saved. And of course, I guess I'll do a plug-in real quick. We also have Sheryl on our AFA Teal Rooms as well. So that's another way as well to get connected. And of course, when I email you guys after today with the link for the recording, I'll also be sharing Sheryl's information so you'll be able to look up her stuff as well.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, Sheryl is all ears for them. So, okay, so I do have one person, Sheryl. They're asking, okay, that's a good question. Can I practice mindfulness with someone else with me? So I think that is a good question. Yeah.
Great question. You can. It depends because you want to, they could be in the same room with you.
Yeah.
You want to, if you're let's put it this way, if you're taking a walk together, you can both acknowledge, you can talk about nature, how you're feeling, and it's just basically acknowledging. When you're sitting in silence, you can both listen to someone giving a guided meditation together, but you as long as both people are fine sitting in the room together, it's basically closing your eyes and finding stillness. So, but there's no words exchanged when you're sitting in stillness, listening to it in the meditation. And again, you don't have to listen to anything. Maybe just find silence, connect to your breath, count 10 to yourself. That could be done sitting next to someone. So if you're doing that with someone in the room with you and you want to do it together, maybe you're side by side if you want to feel that connection, but just having your space to do that. But even for a walk, a 5-minute walk, step outside and acknowledge, even it doesn't have to be too long of a walk, but just be present of what is around you during that time. So yes, it can be done with others, but if you're sitting in silence, there's no talking going on, but you can do it together. That would be fun.
And it actually reminds me of the scenario you brought up. It's like you're eating breakfast and you are with someone, paying attention to the eating that you're doing. Because you can also be with other people and enjoy, I think, the focus is still on yourself, but it can still be that camaraderie in a sense.
Right, and that's good. If you do want to, even eating with someone, if going out for a walk is not an option or sitting, enjoy the breakfast together. Don't speak as of yet. And then maybe after you eat, you discuss, how are you feeling? It's the little things that we don't think of talking about. Yes, we go out at a restaurant, we eat, it tastes good, but we're talking about everything else in life, We're not
Yeah.
really enjoying the food. Yes, we say, oh, this tastes great as we devour it. It's not that we're sitting, but we keep eating and we're still hungry because we think we're hungry. So that's why if you eat slower, if that's the focus of enjoying what you eat, if you're not going out, enjoy what you eat at home. That's it.
Exactly. I do have someone asked, many of your suggestions seem to be related to Buddhist studies. Have there any practices that you've done from those specific studies?
I sit and meditate just in silence because I know and I have learned to, life is not easy in general. And if I take in everything that's around me,
Yeah.
it's not good. I mean, I am a positive, happy person. And when I teach, I give that in my yoga classes. And it's basically how I help myself of sitting still. And it's constantly just always learning. But I
Yeah.
find a few moments to breathe, and I don't take in what other people give me. And people always tell me many things, and if I took in everything of what people say, I can't, and so in another part of my job, I'm in human resources, so I work with employees, coworkers all the time, and I hear and I hear and I hear, so we can't overreact. But the way I clear my mind and myself is just stillness.
Yeah.
And, I'm human, so things come into play in my mind, but
Mhm.
you can't, you have to just let it stop. Not easy.
Exactly. Like the self-compassion you said. It's like the self-talk that you have. And there's actually some phrase you made me think of because I had someone mention this and it was like the longest relationship you're going to have is with yourself.
And I'm an only child, and growing up, I spent a lot of time alone.
Mhm.
And I made do of having fun by myself, and had an imagination. So that's why I used the flying, the unicorn. I had an imagination. I haven't
Yeah.
seen any, don't worry, but I had an imagination, and you have to just
Mhm.
go with it. And as an adult, I've learned to. I don't mind spending time alone and doing things, but you have to love that time. You can't and it's tough, but you have to enjoy your time by yourself with you, enjoy being with you. And if you can't, but that comes first, because if you can't, then you can't enjoy time with other people because that can't hide how you feel about you. So
Mhm.
it's very important.
Exactly. I have someone else who followed up. This has been very relaxing. And this was something where she was, having back spasms, previously. And so how can she interpret this more in her routine? Or should I say, how can she have this more in her schedule, even if she's busy? So what can she do to remind herself to take care of herself?
How about you can even set an alarm? Yeah, I hate
Mhm.
to technology, but we have all cell phones, maybe a certain time of day, maybe it is 8 o'clock in the morning, at noon, at 4 o'clock, when whatever the schedule, we're always busy, but you have 5 minutes. And if you're having back issues, like we did in the beginning, just take a forward fold stretch as you're seated, or if sitting on the floor is easier, just lean forward. I hear you. Back issues was a thing for me too. And it's a matter of not focusing so much on that, but taking care of you overall. And
Mhm.
use an alarm to remind you, and I know some people have watches that remind us to get up out of our seat.
Yes, they like buzz,
So,
go off.
so when that goes off and you have to stand, just stand,
Mhm.
walk around the room or walk outside and go, life,
Mhm.
it's not easy to do that, but it's not good for your body to sit so long if you are sitting all day long.
Yeah. And I actually liked how you phrased it because it's like, if it's too overwhelming to try, okay, I'm going to do like, 10 hours today, right? I'm going to try 10 hours. It's something that's like quick. It's like try 1 minute, right? And even time yourself for the minute. And then
Right.
that seems more doable and can build your self-confidence.
And it's good to time yourself, because if not, you're going to keep looking at your phone or your clock. Is it 1 minute yet? Is it 5 minutes yet? So
Yeah.
set an alarm, just be there in stillness, count to 10, focus on the breathing, on how you're feeling. If your alarm goes off and you're moving to get out of it, you move. If you stay seated for another few moments, it's not the end. It's okay.
Of course. And I have someone else who just asked, what are some of your favorite mantras or affirmations?
All
I know
right.
it's like an on the spot. I know it's like
Yeah.
thinking about a different one.
Mine is one of them was live life to the fullest.
Hmm.
Be happy, be present, be positive. And
That's
these are mine. I can get into my yoga with the Sanskrit, but I really like just living, being present in the moment, because we do, I am positive. And some people even take I know people say, you can't always be positive. And I've had people in my lifetime say, why are you so happy? Why are you smiling? Stop. And I can't listen to that.
Yeah,
So,
it's so
I
much for
think
you.
it's more of how I can express that to others. Not everyone is the same. I don't expect you and I don't tell you what to do, of how to feel, but this is a way to you can follow, but
Mhm.
be positive. And just think of a word. Of course, there are other things that come about that you can't, not everybody can be positive. That's fine. But you can think of a positive word or
Mhm.
person, that will get you through the day, that will get you to that next moment. It can happen.
You're actually making me think of like a few things now. Like literally, I have like a family member who like is just one of my favorite people. So when things happen or become like overwhelming, like that's what I think of is like, okay, I'm gonna look at photos of me with this person and it's just gonna like automatically send. So it has to work, for what's going to. One of the ones I also like to use for and I'll, you can let me know what you think is for self-talk. I always hear, I try, I try, I try.
Right.
But when you try, you still succeed in doing something because even if you didn't fully complete 100%, you still did something. So I
Right.
always will say, like, get rid of the word I try,
Do it.
like, but I succeeded
Yeah.
at starting this project today. I succeeded at making it to page 40 of this 200-page book. You
Right. Right. And that's it. And even as an instructor, I
know?
don't say, try to do this, do it. And if your body doesn't allow you to do this, that's okay. Not everyone can balance. Not everyone can do a twist. Not everyone could do A, B, and C. And I like hearing, I don't like hearing, I can't do this. I can't. And I would hear that all the time from any kind of student. I can't. But stop
What do you
saying
say
that.
when that comes up when they say I can't?
You're now making that your mantra, but you don't know until you do it. And not that you can't, you have to practice doing it. So what we put ourselves into, whether it's a pose or it's a sitting still for 5 minutes, it's a practice. It's, setting yourself up for a routine to do it. Just like your body can get used to sitting watching TV for hours at a time, your body can do something else for that amount of time. We train our bodies to do many things, and to sit still for 5 minutes and clear the mind and breathe, it can be done.
Yeah,
Not
that's
easy.
fascinating actually, because we trained ourselves to get on here today. So I wonder what we could do if we trained ourselves to do something else also.
Right. See? I think you got it.
Yeah, I'm connecting it here.
It all
Um,
comes back.
I have someone who said this has been really great. These tips, this has been refreshing and just such a good reminder, that we can take time for ourselves, even if it's for a few minutes at a time.
Right.
So thank you. I also had someone who just put in, thank you so much. This has been wonderful. So I'm glad that this, space was allowed. And I thank you, Cheryl, for allowing this space here to allow people to feel safe and to not only, ask questions that they might be having, but also to just like let go of themselves. I'm thinking already about the balloon analogy, and I just want a balloon in my hand already to like actually let go of it.
You're gonna be coming home with a bunch of balloons and just say them.
Exactly. So if you see balloons in the skies, that might be one. So I'm just gonna again reiterate, I'm so happy we had you here with today. This has just
My
been such
pleasure.
breath of fresh air of what we just all needed during this time. And again, the comments are rolling in. Thank you so much. This just gets me motivated, and
Oh,
I couldn't agree more with that. So if anybody has any last minute things, okay, I'm getting some more thank yous. Of course, I'll be emailing afterwards. So if you guys want to get in touch with Sheryl, you'll be able to. And of course, with the recording, you'll be able to rewatch, and you can rewatch. You can practice with the recording, and
that's
being
it.
able to get it. Yeah, I just, thought of that.
And thank you everyone for attending too. My pleasure, really.
Well, thank you for being here with us again, Sheryl. And, again, I'm just getting more people saying, I so needed this today. This has been very helpful. And, I just always love sharing that with everyone. So thank you all for being here with us today. And I will be emailing you all shortly. Thank you so much, Sheryl.
Thank you for the foundation of letting me do this. I appreciate it.
All right. Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye.